start the fight, breaking down the walls in the dead of night. I don't come for peace, I come for the storm. Fanboys melt quick when the truth gets warm. Saw content's high, I'm collecting those tears. Just got started, but I'm cutting through fears. I'm not here for brand deals, I'm not for sale. I expose your lies, rip off the veil.
There is something seriously wrong with this man. He actually thinks Grand Theft Auto is meant for children. Oh boy, let's get into this reaction.
Mario Kart is more successful than any AAA video game franchise.
Well, for one, you got two things wrong on that one. Mario Kart is not the greatest selling franchise of all time. And the second one he got wrong, it's not even AAA, it's actually AA. The best selling franchise of all time is actually Mario, but Mario Kart is included with that. But even if you take out the Mario Kart sales, Mario is still the best selling. But let's take out Mario Kart at 166 million according to Wiki. Pokemon would come above that at 480, Call of Duty at 400 million, Grand Theft Auto at 335 million, FIFA at 260, Sonic at 250, Wii Series at 214, Final Fantasy at 180, The Sims at 175, and then Legend of Zelda is at almost 161. So, yeah, so Mario Kart will be slightly above The Legend of Zelda, Harmon. You have no idea what you're talking about. Learn this magical thing called Google.
This is like the reality that people need to wrap their minds around, because I keep seeing people cope and seethe about Mario Kart, saying it's not doing well, or that it's...
Yes, of course it's doing well, because of you fanboys. I was hoping that people were going to boycott it, but unfortunately that failed.
It's not as good as 8 Deluxe. You know, you're seeing people like try and say that, like, oh, it's not a AAA game. Well, no, because it's bigger than AAA games. It does it better.
Harmon, I want you to understand this, and nowhere is Mario Kart World considered a AAA. It is probably more of a AA game. Definitely not above a AAA game. It doesn't even have a story mode, for crying out loud.
Than AAA games. It has better profit margins than AAA games. You know,
Harmon, all those games I just listed on their franchises, I guarantee you have way higher profit margins than Mario Kart does. I guarantee you Call of Duty alone has a higher profit margin through all their damn Battle Pass crap that I don't agree with, but I guarantee you they still sit there and have higher profit margins.
Like, that's true for, I would say, like, quite a few Nintendo franchises, actually.
Harmon, if you look at the top 19 best-selling franchises of all time, only 4 of those 19 are Nintendo IPs. So which ones are you talking about?
We really do need to, like, talk more about how the Mario brand is bigger than Grand Theft Auto, because...
Well, of course, Harmon, number 1, the very first Mario-type game that I'm assuming that they consider part of this franchise is Donkey Kong back in 1981. Altogether, there are over 200 Mario-type games out there. When you look at Grand Theft Auto, it only has 16 mainline Grand Theft Auto games. Harmon, of course, I would hope that a game that's been out since the series that started in 1981 would have a very high sales.
The giant cope has always been that, like, well, Grand Theft Auto sells like 200 million units or whatever. It's, you know, completely.
Yes, Grand Theft Auto has sold over 215 million copies, which is more than 25% of the total Mario franchise sales, and has sold more than any single Mario game ever has.
Not understanding the fact that these games are ludicrously expensive to make, take forever to come out, and have no spin-off potential whatsoever, you know?
Harmon, that is completely irrelevant. It has still outsold anything that Mario has ever produced, or Nintendo has ever produced about Mario. And yes, they are very expensive to make, but do you realize all the microtransactions in Grand Theft Auto 5 they probably made off of? I don't agree with microtransactions, by the way, but they still made money nonetheless.
As opposed to something like Mario Kart, which, to the Mario brand, which has merchandisable characters, it has, like, you know, endless potential for...
Endless potential for what? Please explain.
For growth and expansion, spin-off material, dozens of different characters. Like, you just...
Congratulations, it has all that. Then why is the Mario brand having such a hard time competing with Grand Theft Auto? It would not surprise me if Grand Theft Auto 6 almost helps the GTA franchise eclipse that.
The Mario brand is just better produced than Grand Theft Auto in general, right?
How about no, Harmy?
Grand Theft Auto is only relevant because of our crime-obsessed culture, right?
Harmon, it sounds like you're just jelly that Mario will never find the success that Grand Theft Auto has.
It's bare bones, it's basic, it has nothing going for it. It is just
What, Mario Kart World? I completely agree.
popular for superficial reasons, essentially. It is like the video game equivalent of Avatar.
Harmon, if you're talking about the movie Avatar, you better put some respect on their name. Those movies are phenomenal.
Like, nobody actually likes playing Grand Theft Auto. They like the idea of Grand Theft Auto, of, like, stealing cars and committing crimes, Like, it's just something that appeals to...
Yeah, and just like with Mario Kart World, nobody likes to play Mario Kart World. They just like the idea of it.
A simplistic, childish mind. I do think that's like the major takeaway when it comes to Grand Theft Auto is that it is a children's game, for...
Harmon, in no way should a parent ever let their child play Grand Theft Auto. That is not a children's game. There is something wrong with you in your mind if you actually think that's a children's game.
For little bitty children who have not matured.
I think you're confusing Grand Theft Auto with Mario Kart World.
So, Grand Theft Auto, being a children's game, doesn't have...
Harmon, I swear, you suffer from low IQ deficiency. In no way is Grand Theft Auto meant for children. You're an idiot.
the growth or the potential to match up with something like the Mario brand, which is for all ages, which is a completely different thing.
Harmon, I swear, you ate way too many paint chips as a kid. You really need to lay off them now.
Because you can see how Mario appeals to people of all age groups and demographics.
No, Harmon, it does not. Mario has always been more for children. There is nothing wrong with playing it as an adult. I enjoyed Mario Odyssey, but I'm not going to sit here and pretend that Grand Theft Auto is meant for children, but Mario is meant for all ages. That is not how that works.
While Grand Theft Auto only appeals to children.
If CPS is watching this, the Vigilante does not condone this information that he is putting out. This is all Harmon Smith.
That is like the difference in quality that we're talking about here, is that Mario can do anything he wants while...
Harmon, you can literally do whatever you want in Grand Theft Auto. You can't do whatever you want in a Mario game.
Grand Theft Auto is very, very strictly relegated.
To what, Harmon? Are you kidding me? Mario games are the ones that are relegated to something. You're literally relegated to a platform, for crying out loud.
To its very, very narrow formula. If it deviates from that formula at all, they will lose a lot of sales. And I think you are going to see this.
You can say all those things about the Mario games.
With Grand Theft Auto 6 specifically, where like it's just not going to be as well received as 5, you know?
Maybe not. It's rare for a game to hit 10 million units, let alone over 200 million. That is a hard thing to accomplish.
Critics are going to love it, but like I think players are going to be more and more conflicted about like Grand Theft Auto just being incapable of evolving or progressing. And
Harmon, every single Grand Theft Auto game that's ever come out has evolved the formula and made it better. That's why Grand Theft Auto 5 saw the success that it did. That's why it sold over 200 million units. When has one of your Mario games ever even came close to that?
That's the biggest video game franchise on the planet, right? You know, everything else, you know, Call of Duty, you know, the annual sports games, whatever.
Congratulations. Look at how many games make up that franchise, Harmon.
The Last of Us, like none of that can like really compete with Nintendo at all. None of that even really comes close, honestly.
Like I said, Harmon, in the top 19 games, only 4 of them are Nintendo games.
And it does need to be talked about more, I would say. Like,
Harmon, there's a lot of stuff that you say that doesn't make sense, but continue. I will allow it.
Like just how much more successful Nintendo's brands, like Mario Kart,
If you separate Mario Kart, it is literally the 20th in the top 20 most selling franchises of all time. Sorry, I mean it would be number 10, not 20. It would barely crack the top 10.
Or compared to its direct competition, because you are going to see Mario Kart World consistently do well throughout the console generation.
Unfortunately, because of people like you that refuse to stand up for the consumer and do the right thing.
It will remain one of the most popular games on the console. It will remain like this highly regarded thing, and by the time the next game comes out,
Yes, unfortunately, because of people like you, like I just said.
you're going to see a lot of people say World was the peak of the series.
I really hope not. I still think Mario Kart 8 Deluxe is the best out of all of them, but unfortunately, I have a feeling that Mario Kart World will beat it.
Just like how you see a lot of the same people saying 8 Deluxe was the peak of that series. And
Yes, with Mario Kart 8 Deluxe though, when it came out, you got it at the standard price of $60 with all the DLC. They won't even do that now for Zelda. If you want it on the Switch too, you literally have to pay $80 for Breath of the Wild. And then if you want the DLC, it's even more.
And keep in mind, it's really easy to forget this, but
Oh, please explain, Harmon. I am so waiting.
Mario Kart 8 was a very controversial game when it first came out,
I do not remember that, but please continue on.
It's kind of amazing looking back on it, but like people were seething about that game, the character roster,
What was wrong with the character roster? Can you please explain?
the visuals, the consoles on, people like hated Mario Kart 8.
I actually like the visuals, so I don't even know what he's talking about.
It was this very, very like heavily damage controlled game when it first came out. Obviously, the Deluxe fixed all that.
Oh, okay, I get it. You're talking about from the Wii U. I never played it on the Wii U. I've only ever played it on the Switch, and I thought it was phenomenal.
Very successful re-release that like the game journals weren't able to bury. Kind of similar to like what Tears of the Kingdom is going through now on Switch 2. Having outsold Elden Ring.
Harmon, I cannot find any information on how many copies of Tears of the Kingdom have sold on the Switch 2. Can you please produce these sources?
We're in this really interesting like period in Nintendo's history where like a lot of people who grew up in the Wii U era are like nostalgic for that specific period.
Okay, so what's your point? I think I'm going to end it here because he's just rambling on, and frankly, he's starting to annoy me. Now it is time to read off the members of the channel. I got Maximilian Pegasus 88 and Koros Objective. Thank you guys so much for joining the crew. And if you truly enjoy this content, why don't you think about becoming a member? It's only $1 a month. You get special kind of badges, you get special kind of emotes, and at the end of all my videos, I will sit here and shout out all my members until it becomes too long, and then it'll be turned into a credit roll. So that's going to be it for my reaction. Let me know down in the comments if you agree with me or not. Please like, share, and subscribe. And until next time, stay vigilant.
You can cry in the comments, but you won't survive. Like and subscribe if you feel that vibe. We're